altitude. And he's not a bad gate pick. No.
Well, we're at round 16 of our 17-round Supercross series, and right now I'm leading the points in the 450 class. I've got an 18-point lead coming into this race, and for me, this is my home state race. I'm from the southwest corner of the state in Cortez, so Denver always has a great showing and has great energy here for the race. So we've got some great motocross and Supercross fans here in Colorado.
You being from the state, why is this race so unique to you?
Well, it's just, I guess it's the hometown state vibes is what it is. So there's always that good feeling here. So it's just a being at home feeling.
Do you have more of a pep in your step, more bounce when you get to hear, like knowing Broncos play here, you probably felt Broncos young and all that. Is it a little bit different for you coming here?
Absolutely. It's like I said, Denver brings it to a whole other level this is the loudest stadium that we go to, that I've been to in the past couple of years. So I know it's the same way like in the NFL games. You know, the crowd gets loud here. So they bring the same thing for Supercross.
People don't understand how much training goes into this. Do you feel you have an advantage living in altitude, training at altitude, and coming here knowing that you have an advantage here maybe?
That's right. There's an advantage to training in altitude. One, physically, right? Being able to breathe, you know, and being cardio fit. And also the motorcycle does get a little bit slower. So for guys that do train at sea level, that feeling is a little bit different. So I guess the advantage is that when the bike feels a little bit slower, for people that ride at elevation, that feels normal.
You're coming in here with the points lead, defending champion, defending race champion. Do you put pressure on yourself, or how do you treat a race like this?
At this point in time, I do need to think about, you know, the championship points and some management. But that being said, it's always easier said than done. So just go out there, ride my race, do what I can.
People have never seen the sport before. Describe it to somebody that a person's never seen it.
Well, if you haven't seen Supercross, it's going to be action-packed, I'll tell you that. And it's a good time. There's 20 of us on the start line. That's one unique thing about this sport is we all start off the same gate. There's no staggered starting, so we all go roaring into the first turn there, and we're racing for 20 minutes in that main event.
And you say loudest stadium, loudest crowd. People don't realize you're on a motorcycle, but you can't hear that. What does that mean for a hometown crowd to cheer you on and give you that extra pop-up game?
That's right. Even though our four strokes are quite loud, you can still hear the fans out there. So whether you're in a battle or something crazy happens on the track, you can hear the crowd going. So for us, it's a good feeling when you can hear the fans.
You've been doing this for a long time, and there's talk of you may, I don't know, retirement or slow it down, but you're being family. Do you realize like what you've done, and do you relish these moments a little bit more each time?
It's hard when you're an athlete to. There's always a fine line between focus and truly enjoying the moment. So I try to do that balance as well as I can. For me, I'm 30 years old, enjoying it more than ever. So you know, I don't think this is the end yet. So we'll just see how or where things end up.
You say 30 years old, that sounds young, but this is a young man's sport. I mean, as a veteran, it's nice to have that veteran riding ability, but you also probably want to be 20 again. Is there a fine line between that?
That's true. You can turn professional in our sport when you're 16 years old. So, like you said, 30 sounds a little bit old, but we're still competitive.
What would it mean to win here, to have the opportunity to win here? Last few questions here. What would it mean to win here this weekend?
I just go back to the energy of the fans here. I'm telling you, this is the loudest stadium that we come to. So, for me, getting a win in Denver would be just the best thing.
Last question. What's it mean? This is a family sport, friends and family, but also you're on the track. It's an individual sport at the same time. How do you balance the friends and family outside of this on the track and to be an individual rider at the same time?
Motocross is great because there's a class for each age group. You know, as you get older, as a kid, from the start you can start on a 50cc, and then obviously when you're an adult you can go all the way up to a 450. So it's a great family sport that way. So everyone can be involved and everyone can ride if they would like to.
Last question. You raised the trophy here on this stage last year. Have you thought about that moment? If so, what would that moment mean?
Well, it'd be outstanding to do that again, and no better place to do it. So we'll see if we can make it happen.
Well, really, we're basically the NFL of dirt bikes, right? We come to these stadiums, it's really action-packed, and a lot of like noise, fireworks, just it's cool. There's a lot of excitement, big jumps, and a lot of thrills, really. So it's basically just the pinnacle of dirt bikes, you know, and it's really, really exciting.
Go and look at me, cameras right
Yep,
here.
perfect.
And when they say high-flying bar banging, what is this? Is it really describe what this is?
Oh, 100%. Like bar banging action, we're slamming into each other. You know, it gets aggressive sometimes, and so like literally anything can happen. You know, everyone wants to do good. Everyone wants to make that pass, and so sometimes it gets a little bit rough and rowdy out there, but it's exciting, right? For the fans, it's one of the most like the raw emotion of riders when we're out there. You know, I think it's one of the most exciting things for people to actually see. So, at least for me as a rider, when I see that, I know what that feels like. So, to see someone else see that that's never seen dirt bikes, it kind of explains a lot of it, in my opinion.
And fans are a big part of it. They think, oh, it's a loud bike on the track, nobody can hear you. Describe how much fans play this.
You can literally hear the fans in the crowd through the whole stadium when you're riding. Like if something exciting happens, a pass happens, a crash, anything like that, and the crowd erupts, I hear everything from every end of the stadium. And it's crazy too, because like you hear that and I'm like looking around while I'm on the bike like, well, something exciting just happened, you know, or if it's you involved with that, it's really crazy. But no, you can hear the fans like super well, more than you would think. It's insane.
And you being a local rider, having a Supercross here, we haven't had the last too many days, but what's it mean to have a Supercross here in the state of Colorado?
I think it's amazing, you know, like especially for me at least, it's one thing like just to be home and everything, but I think it brings another form of our sport to our awesome state. And like the thing is like a lot of people, even if they do ride, they might not have ever seen a Supercross or anything like that. I think that brings a whole nother level of motorcycles to the state of Colorado, which I think is amazing. And it's, like I said, it's a really exciting version of it. So for me, I think it's one of the coolest things to have it here. I'm so blessed and stoked it is here.
Do you think you have an advantage from here, living here with altitude? Do you come in a little bit of advantage?
I think the altitude really plays a huge part here, and I think it's definitely for me, like, one thing is like, you know, just fitness alone. You run out of breath so easy up here, and a lot of us locals are just really used to it. The other thing is bikes are a lot slower here. So having that kind of being used to that big difference where a lot of people, they ride here maybe twice a year here in Thunder Valley, so it's like, it doesn't happen very often, so it's a huge, huge thing for the locals to have that used to it and just being used to the elevation. It's insane.
You probably, do you have a little more pep in your step coming here? Do you have more friends, more family? And what's that mean to be part of that?
You know, honestly, having the family and friends here, there's a lot more pressure, I think, just because I want to do good, not only for them, but for myself here, but it feels home here. So I think I get more excited being home just because, I don't know, it's like that feeling of, okay, the people here that are locals, they want me to do good, I want to do good for them, and I just get twice as excited. So it's really, really cool to be home and stuff.
This is a unique sport where it's rough and tough cardio. People don't realize how, I've heard second toughest sport in the world behind soccer. No timeouts, a lot of work. And why is this sport so tough, cardiovascular?
I think a lot of it is we're constantly moving on the bike. Like people think we're just sitting and using the throttle. We're using all of our muscles like a lot of people never use. And so it's one of those things that's very exhausting, constantly doing it for 20 minutes at a time, not stopping, and it's really aggressive doing it. It's like, think of the most insane rowing machine you can possibly do at 110%, everything you have, and just keep going. And then also add like bumps on a road with it. It's insane. So it's a lot.
What would it mean to do well here? I mean, it's tough to, as a privateer. Explain what a privateer is.
So a privateer is really someone who does it on their own budget. So I don't have like a factory behind me paying me a salary, right? So every penny I make goes back to me and my program. Whether it's my sponsors that's chipping in or it's the winnings I'm getting, anything like that goes right back into my program to help me get better and do better every weekend. So a lot of it is just being on your own really outside of a factory setting. So I have to pay for all my parts. Luckily I'm very blessed to have really good sponsors that help out with that, and like a lot of us do, but it's one of those things that's very expensive to maintain a race bike all year long and then on travel and everything like that going each round. So doing it on your own is kind of crazy. Like I drive to every round, I don't fly. It's one of those things it's a lot harder than just flying, going to the race and get on the bike and going. I will do my own bike work and do everything, so it's a lot.
I know winning may not be in your possibility, but qualifying and making the main is big.
Yeah.
What does it mean to make a main here?
To make a main here is huge. Like especially because it is in front of my home race. Being in front of my fans and my family and stuff like that, it's so different because I don't get to see them during the year because I'm all over the country. So getting to see them and enjoy it with them after I get off the track it's so amazing. So for that, it means everything really. Like it has such a bigger meaning than all the other rounds for me. So it's really, really important.